Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Patty Hagwood, and I am so pleased to have you all here today as we uh, celebrate the animals who've given so much and who've now gone on. Most of them are the animals that have lived here at the sanctuary that we've taken in from a variety of circumstances, and some are your own personal animals that you have written in about. And we just appreciate you all being here for this amazing and spiritual time. Today, I want to talk about altruism. And altruism is that selfless giving for the welfare of others. And it creates for us a cycle of abundance. And sometimes we use altruism, in a variety of ways, but in my heart, I believe that it creates, I would say, the times when you are hurting the most is probably the times when you reach out. And you reach out to help another, and it helps you, and then it helps them, and then it helps you, and it creates that wonderful full circle. It's kind of like why we bring food when someone has suffered a loss. We know that they need to eat, and that perhaps they're not, in a headspace where they want to prepare food for themselves. But it also says a whole lot more. When you bring food to someone, you're saying, I love you, I want to nourish you, I want to take care of you. Or you think about the times when you pop off a little card in the mail to a friend of yours or to someone you know who's struggling. And there's that wonderful delight you feel when you pop it into the mailbox and you think in your mind's eye how wonderful it'll be when they open it up and they just have that moment knowing somebody's thinking about them and someone's caring about them. I had a friend several years back who suffered a significant loss. She called me and she was panicking. And I raced to her house as quickly as I could. And when I got there, this was not a time for food or cards or anything. I just did whatever it was I could do at that moment. And I ran to the bathroom and I grabbed a washcloth and I ran it under some really cold water. And I just ran over to her and I held her and I wiped her forehead and her neck and the back of her neck and across her face, much like an animal will do to another animal in distress. I just wanted her to ground herself and to feel okay and to feel cared for. And it worked. So there's times when things are super urgent and you do whatever it is you can right there at that very moment. And there's time for food, and there's time for cards, and there's even time for listening. Sometimes the greatest gift we can ever give anyone is the gift of our time. We sit down with someone who's had a loss and you say, you know what? I'm just here for you and I want you to talk to me and I want you to tell me all about it. You can ugly cry, have all the feels, whatever you need to do. And I'm not going to try to make you feel better. I'm not going to try and take it away from you because this is yours. But I'm going to just be here and I'm going to listen to you. You wouldn't believe what a tremendous gift that is. Or maybe you would, right? So all these gifts, they create a circular nature of caring for one another. And as we know, in the state our world is in at this point, we can't have too much of people caring for one another and taking care. So I'm grateful that you're here today and that you're spending this time with us. And we're going to share some of the stories of the animals that have crossed our path. And I'll be talking to you soon. I'm going to give you over to Josh.
My name is Josh. I am the manager here at Angels Rest, and it's great to see everybody here. Thank you all for coming out. At this point of the program, I'll read off some of the names of the animals that had passed on here at the sanctuary. In cat world, we lost Kringle, Wendell, Pudding, Socks, Izzy, Jansen, Lumi, and Maui. In Dogtown, we lost Alroy, Enzo, and Legion. In Paragarden, we lost Tootie, Drew, Julep, Kaimi, and Barty. In Guinea Pigs, we lost Marco and Roddy, with Piper as well. The Betta Fish, we lost Aphrodite. In Wild Friends, we lost Kaylee and Darla. And in Horsehaven, we lost Spur and Prince. And with the tributes that were sent in, we lost Tinkerbell, Buddy, Bill, Bruiser, Zachary, Gracie, Zoe, and Buddy, Max, Gracie, Parker, and Veruca, Jade, Toby, Lady, Chip, Billy, Faye Valentine, Kayla, Socks, Blackie, Siam, Dixie, and Sweetie Pie, Biscuit, and Delilah, and Smitty, Shouty, Quizzy, Bruiser, Boomer, Bridget, Gracie, Tidbit, and Kitty. And at this point, I'd like to pass the mic over to Byron.
I'm Byron. I'm one of the caretakers here at Angel's Rest. Many of you might have known kind of one of the traditions we have here is when the chimes are speaking to us, usually when we do a placement, even if there's no wind, there's always a little movement and a little voice. So they're always singing to us. I have a couple stories that were sent in that I'm going to share with you. The Romano family lost their dog, Baby. You were truly a gentle giant. Your strength, your quiet strength, fierce protection, and unbridled love wove itself into the fabric of our family, creating an unbreakable bond. Your spirit will live forever in our hearts. Carla wrote, My beloved brother, Mark Maurer, a great friend to animals, as a proud daddy and rescuer of Mustang Sally the cat, Murphy, Leona, both dogs from Best Friends. Leona and Sally preceded Mark across the Rainbow Bridge shortly before he passed away. My sweet Romeo, my first true cat love, you are everything to me, and I still miss you so much throughout my days. Thank you for all you taught me. I hope you know that you are with me forever. I love you forever. Dorothy the betta fish, who was saved from a small cup at a pet store. To enjoy a life of space, care, and love, all animals matter. Sweet Wild Bill, the love you gave us helped us to be better people. You live on in us and all of your adoring fans. Thank you for being you. One of the caregivers, Cassie, said this about Elroy. We lost the sweetest little boy. Elroy started having seizures, and it was as hard as the clinic team fought for him. He just couldn't pull through. He passed peacefully and held by the best foster mom ever, Julie Henderson. We are heartbroken to have lost such a longtime friend, and for Julie, who loved him as much as her own. And this one is from one of the caregivers named Sam, who's at Dogtown. Legion. Legion was one of the dogs who helped pioneer the term legend in Dogtown. He came to us as a young hunk over 10 years ago and has been a hero his entire life. He was in a home with domestic violence and saved his mom. He has always had a huge fan club. Even when he was a red collar, staff and visitors admired his good looks and huge personality from afar. He was one of the most striking meatheads I'd ever seen. He was a tough guy that was a teddy bear to the people that he loved. As he grew older, he decided he would love everyone that got an easy introduction. A slimy kiss from Legion was something you could not turn down because he was so excited to give it to you. He always made sure to give you thank you kisses for everything. He had the most exuberant shake. His most important jobs were rearranging his blankets all day long, playing with his favorite toys, and catching every treat. He was happy, always, and made us happy, always. There will forever be a giant lily head shaped hole in our hearts. It will never be the same.
We think about the running theme of giving, our caregivers, even though I think they've moved to some highfalutin term of specialist, which they indeed are specialists because this is what they do all day, every day. But they also give care. And we think about the amazing work that they do. And I think you guys have run into quite a few caregivers on in your time here so far. And those guys have an incredible capacity to not only come in every day in and day out, and give to the animals that they care for, they also have to let them go. They have to let them go sometimes through unforeseen circumstances, but they also have to let them go into their new homes. And that's a joyous yet bittersweet time for them because, they send that love with them and they pray that their lives are going to be even better than they are when they're here. And they are ready now with open arms to welcome the whole new cast and crew that comes through. So, y'all know, as quickly as we can get them into loving homes, we take in as many as we possibly can save. And I just want to give a shout out to our caregivers for that incredible job. Because as a foster failure mom, they check in, but yeah, they don't check out. I'm like, I think I had they gave me a puppy for 2 days. That was the only time I remember going, okay, all right, I guess so. And I bet I see a lot of nodding. Yes, this is one of my favorite foster mamas right there. The bat kittens who ended up doing really, really well. It was 2 little scrawny black cats. I mean, the scrawniest you'd ever seen with the biggest ears. And we named them the bat cats. And they were so funny. And they would race around, and I think their ears, sometimes they get caught up in their ears, I think. Sonar. So I'm gonna leave you today with a poem from Emily Dickinson, and I hope you enjoy it as we wrap up this evening. Hope by Emily Dickinson. Life isn't always treacherous. There is an essence of altruism in our biological disposition. There are people out there who have a vision to confront injustice and end human schisms. There are mothers who genuinely love their offspring. They bring warmth and compassion into this world. There are fathers who are a source of strength, patience, and wisdom to the children who are often weak, irritable, and naive. There are teachers who sincerely wish to guide the youth, show them our roots, and speak to them truths. There are fruits, and they are plentiful, bringing sustenance to the famished and the sickly. There are trees that allow us to breathe and take shade during days where the mighty sun is ablaze. These are just a few examples in an attempt to paint a picture. The list can continue endlessly, and what is about to be said is a point that must be made incessantly. Before confronting evil, appreciate the good is a necessity. Thank you all for joining us today. We appreciate you all, and I'm glad we had some glorious weather to share with you. Take care, everyone, and enjoy your evening.